There are 5 types of conflict. First, there's no conflict. You want something, you get it. That's a no conflict situation. Another non-conflict situation is when you don't want to do something, you don't have to. When you don't want to do something, you can simply avoid it. That's a no conflict situation too. The second level, our first actual conflict, is between things we like. It's a choice between something we want and something we want. There's not much of a conflict here. Either choice is fine. Dollar and Miller call this an approach conflict. You approach something, get closer to it, when you like it. In an approach conflict, you like both of them. We tend to choose whichever one is closer, or easiest to get. The third level of conflict is choosing between 2 things you don't want. This is an avoidance conflict. An avoidance conflict is usually solved by choosing to not do anything, just waiting and hoping things change. Or we do something entirely different. If we don't want to do paperwork and we don't want to make sales calls, we play on the computer. We go for a walk. We talk with other coworkers. We do something entirely different. We avoid the avoidance. We simply avoid both options. The third level of conflict is an approach avoidance conflict. In this situation, we like and don't like something about the same item. We like a person, but they have bad breath. We will like a product, but it's too expensive. This is loving the work you do, but not the people that you work with. We tend to divide our response into 2 parts. We jump out of bed ready to go to work, and then as we drive into the parking lot, we walk very slowly as we walk to the workplace. The 5th level of conflict is the hardest to resolve. This is what Dollar and Miller call a double approach avoidance conflict. It is a choice between 2 things, each of which we like something and dislike. It is a choice between 2 things, each of which has an advantage and a disadvantage. It's a double approach avoidance conflict. We have an approach avoidance conflict and another approach avoidance conflict. This is a choice between going home for the holidays and being with people you don't like, or staying where you are but being all alone. We like parts of it, we don't like another part. We like part of it, we don't like another part. This is a choice between 2 things, each of which has an advantage and a disadvantage. This conflict we often don't resolve. We spend all of our time running back and forth between them, never actually making a decision. Those are the 5 levels of conflict. No conflict, approach, avoidance, approach avoidance, and double approach avoidance.